So if you're looking to customize a Bane to make him look like this from McFarlane Toys, let's talk about it. I got a lot of questions about how to transform this guy into having more realistic skin. This is what he looks like getting out of the package. So here is the color difference. You can tell one is a little bit more red, a little deeper tone. This is the original one out of the package, and this is the one that I redid. You know, I just added in like freckles and just different things that I would think that skin tone would look like. So whether you're going to use Mafex, you're going to use SH Figure Arts or Mezco, I think this Bane works out. It's got pretty good articulation. It's not as good as some, but overall, if you go back in and use some of the stuff that I have, it'll work. Just a little bit of detail can really make this guy look fantastic and even more menacing. So this is the paint that I use with my skin tones, even on head sculpts and things like that. This will give me a good base coat. Right here, it is a light flesh. So this is the part number, and this is the actual color, and this is the brand. So this is another option. This is the neutral. You can actually go in and use this as a base, and this is the part number right here for this, or the item number. So this right here is actually the best flesh wash that I have picked up that works with most of my figures. I use it in all the Deadpool. You see that's the part number right there, and then this is everything you need. That's the company. You see the address is right there. I will link this in my newsletter so you've got it. So typically when I'm using an airbrush, I'll use one with a compressor, but most of the time I just use this guy right here. It is super simple to use. If you're intimidated by an airbrush, it's not that hard to use these things. You just put a couple drops in here, then put a couple drops of thinner or distilled water, turn it on, and I like to adjust mine all the way out first, get a couple test shots, see what's going to happen. So for me, I usually want it to be almost at the very top. So that gives me just enough. You just do it like this. I always recommend just a sweeping motion. What I found works the best is I just put it in a little plastic cup right here, and then I'll add a drop of water, and I'll come back in with my sponge and just dip that in there. Just dip it in there like that. And then I'll take my figure after I've got all my base coats and everything on, and then I'll just dab it. Just like this. And then I'll blow dry it real quick, and then I'll come back in and dab it. And if you mess up, that's okay. You can come back in and wipe it off with just regular water. Just come in and wipe it down. Once you're done with all of that, you can see like the little freckles and things pop out when you use wash. And I think that it does a pretty good job on this Bane. So yeah, pretty simple. And Flashpoint Customs, he is probably one of the best for flesh tone and stuff like that. So go follow him, check him out. He's inspired me to do a lot of stuff, and I use different techniques, but I'll make sure to link everybody that does things in my newsletter so you can have that.